Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Simtutu Zimdebele. I'm your trainer for today. I'm not alone. I'm with my colleague, Brenda Mohali. She's our moderator. Also, she will be taking questions. If you have any questions, feel free to use the chat box. So our today's topic is staying productive online. I hope you're going to enjoy today's session. Also, feel free to share your thoughts, ideas, or any questions. So, our agenda today, we'll be discussing the terms of how are you going to set up a remote office, and then again, we'll explain the importance of building a productivity working environment and to provide top tips. And then lastly, will help you to manage and maintain your well-being. So I hope we are going to enjoy today's session. So now, if you owe a small business and you're ready to scale, we have a free bootcamp that is available from Google. If, for example, you want to register, you have a link, and then after entering the link, there are some steps that will help you, and then to help your business to scale. So now, our first question for the day, it says, how has COVID-19 impacted your role? Please feel free, use the chat box. Use the chat box for your own answer. If you have any questions, please share with us or share your thoughts. How has COVID-19 impacted your role? Feel free to write down any questions. Okay, now our first topic for the day, it says set up your remote office. So we're going to go into details how to set up your remote office. A remote office is a working style that allows a professional to work outside of a traditional office environment. Also, it is based on the concept that that work does not need to be done in a specific place to be executed successfully. So, while having the ability to work from outside of a corporate office has been more effectively, because working remotely is only now becoming a mainstream. So you can also share your thoughts. What is remote working using your own word or your own example? So now, where can people work remotely? People, they can work remotely at their home. For some employees working from home, from some employees working from home is the best option that given you more flexibility with your home lifestyle. So it helps you it helps you to be flexible with your home style. And then uh, you can only again you can able to work at the coffee shop, because working in public space live coffee shops, for example, caves, bars, and the restaurant are often boost productivity. And then by co-working space are the great option for working remotely. But the fee-free dedication desk can run per month. Also, be aware of the cost around this when while working co-working space. Then again, you are able to work at the libraries. If you don't need to make a phone call, libraries are the great place to get work done because they have a free Wi-Fi, lots of table where you can just put your things and start working and do your job. So now we do have another question that says, what do you need to work remotely? What do you need to work remotely? Feel free to write down the comments. Any questions? If you do have questions, any ideas, if you do have ideas, what do you need to work remotely? Okay, let me go into details. So, what you need to work remotely? Firstly, we have to dedicate your workspace, a space to separate a work from home. So, again, devices. And when we are talking about devices, for example, you will need a laptop if you are working on a typed document on a spreadsheet. Because technology nowadays it helps you to connect, also to collaborate and work remotely. So, meaning this is the technology you will need to do your work. And then another thing, we have an internet. So while you're working remotely, you need a stable internet connection to work effectively. Meaning, work today is many people today or nowadays are working remotely. You may rely on the internet connection to send or receive files. Also, work on a live files and communicate with your team. Internet, that's how it helps. So now, to create your own space, avoid the bed or a couch. Also set up a table and a chair, and then make sure the place is comfortable. And then lastly, consider your posture. That's why creating your own workspace at home is very important because it will help you to concentrate more. Also, to set up to set up a table and a chair, it is simple. Just get a simple desk and a comfortable chair in one corner of your room, or on the balcony. It will help you with your work just fine. So, if possible, create your comfortable workspace. By this, we mean a space where you can create a comfortable sitting position. Also, choose a type of a chair with a back edge support. And then, lastly, we have to make sure you have a comfortable head position when dedicating on the position or on the place for your laptop or your monitor. So now we do have the physical equipment you might need. Firstly, it will depend on the sort of work you may need. So firstly, we do have a cell phone. A cell phone, it will help you to answer calls, also to communicate with your team members, and have or you can have a chat. And then we do have a computer. A computer, it will help you to work on a multiple document, also do video calls and conferences. Most laptops came with a webcam, but they tend to also that mean having a laptop is an external with an external camera is the best of the best. And then lastly, we do have a notebook. With a notebook, it would help you to keep to keep some notes, or to jot down some notes. And we have things or to have any ideas. If you do have some ideas, a notebook, it will help you to draft down or to come up with some ideas. So now let's talk about how to get a stable power. So to get a stable power is to be productive. You may have to get a stable power to charge your devices, to make sure your generator is working. And then also try a solar power device in interveners, also a power bank for your devices. So finding a stable power supply for working may be one of the major challenge, because you will face you face some challenges, and you don't know how to resolve them. And then again, one way you can manage that challenge is getting a generating set up. Have one also you can have one already. So meaning you can also try a solar power devices solar power device, interventors and extra. Because working remotely likely means is ensuring additional cost of powering, generating, or purchasing in investors. Working on the remotely in other locations with Wi-Fi's, such as caves or libraries, are also a great option, because that's as an employee, you are able to take your laptop to a place where you can get your power while working. So now, to find a sufficient internet connection, as an employee, a slow internet connection is much more online. Because, for example, you can say a web page will take forever to load. Also, choose the right ISP. Consider a substitute or alternative SAP. Find the right router. Plug into Wi-Fi, and then after we have connected, we have to test and compare the internet speed. So to be productive, we have to get a decent internet connection. Also, by choosing the right ISP, the first steps is to choose the right internet services provider. If your data connection is not is too low, working remotely will be an advantage. So the right router is where you are choosing the right kind of router, because it's very important, as is keeping it the right place. To plug into Wi-Fi, uh, to plug into to Wi-Fi, it's running a network cable from the router to the home office it running a network cable from the router to the office, to the home office location. So we do have another question. What are the challenges working remotely? With your own example or with your own idea, with your own words, what are the challenges? If you can think, what are the challenges of working remotely? If you have some ideas, please you can use the chat box by writing down the comments or ideas. Okay, let me proceed. So we have five challenges of working remotely. Firstly, we have loneliness. When you're talking about loneliness, it's one of the major challenges of working remote because especially for if we are working alone at home, and then we have number two, we have a discipline, self-discipline. You need to as a employee, you need a dedication, a discipline, and a self-control to avoid losing a momentum while working from home. Also, don't convince yourself that a single YouTube video during your work hours won't do any harm, because before you know it, you will have spent hours on it. Also, no employee benefits. When you're talking about no employee benefits, you won't have as an employer, you won't have employee benefits like health insurance or uh, retirement funds. Although working at home, working at home, we have more opportunities. In some countries, provide medical and then also coverage. The sum cannot be said when working online. And then hard to switch off. When you're talking about hard to switch off, I can say difficult to switch off, if maybe to switch off your device that you're working with. Because when you're working in your office, we are most likely conscious of the closing time, because that's not always the case when you're working remotely. When working remotely, the lines between working and home life are not the same, because you're working from home, from your dining room. You might not find it easy because you are lonely, so that's a challenge. In other, sometimes you cannot complete your work. So now, to missing out and FOMO, is when we're talking about working remotely, could make you to feel left out. When you miss out, also you can miss out the important announcement, meeting meetings, and events in your work office. So now let's look the benefits of working remotely. What are the benefits of working remotely? Feel free to use the chat box. The benefits of working remotely. Okay. Here are some benefits of working remotely as an employee. Firstly, flexibility. Sometimes there are things you just need to be to be at home for. So working from when you have flexibility, we meaning on top of that, they are they are they are everyday task you need to fit you fit around you to fit around your work, like doing your laundry or receiving online grocery deliveries. And then no commuting. By saying no commuting, it takes time out of your day that you will never get back. Also, when you work from home, you can able to you can uh, you can be at your desk and then ready to work within a few minutes of waking up. And then more time with your family, and then less distractions. When you're talking about less distractions, with some willpower of when we're talking about if, for example, you are working and then distractions, you are getting distracted by the TV or your next loud of laundry. In fact, if you should find yourself getting more done when you work when you work remotely. And then lastly, we have a higher morale. So with a higher with a higher morale, meaning a hyper employee produce better work and feel more committed to your companies. So now the benefits of remote working for business. It helps you to reduce to reduce overhead cost, also generate productivity, access to wider pool of table, also to improve employee retention. So with to reduce overhead cost, it's when we talk about the world will add up over time and can make you it can make a sufficient impact on the overhead. Also, access to wider pool talent by allowing employees to work remotely. Employees can hire the best talent while not limiting themselves by geographical restrictions. So, meaning this is also promotes the diversity as different people from different geopolitical zone working together. And then lastly, remember I've mentioned the importance of employee relevance. So if there are some questions you'd like to ask, feel free to use the chat box. Uh, you can ask any questions. You can share any thoughts so that we can proceed. So I will just wait for a minute. If there are some questions, before we proceed. Okay, I've noted that we don't have any questions. So let me proceed. So now we are going to talk about how to build a productive working environment. With your thoughts or with your ideas, when you're talking about building a productive working environment, What are we talking about? Don't forget to use the chat box. Uh, so so now, why your work environment is very important. Why your working environment is important, because the quality of your workspace is vital to be productivity. So now, meaning there are some tips to create a workspace also that promotes wellness and productivity, including the use of natural light and the desk position. Then also find the best chair for you, as I've mentioned before. So now you will need to consider the space for yourself or for your task, and how to arrange your home office layout effectively. And then how to again create an area of your work, of your own work, of your own to work. So meaning uh, it can be it can be in the kitchen where your laptop is, or a corner in the dining room with a desk, or with a whole room in the house. And then now, to find the right chair for you, find the right chair within your own home, or purchase a chair to sit in your desk. Also invest in a good chair that fits you and feels good. And then don't forget, do what your budget offers. So now, uh, communicate the value of remote of working, or of working space. Distractions impact working qualities and productivity by 40%. According to the research study on the effect of working environment on the product, workspace distractions cut employee productivity by 40% and increases errors uh, by 27%. So now, how can you minimize distraction? Using your own words, how can you we minimize uh, distractions? Okay, I see a comment here from Virginia Mbengeni. She says a higher productive and a generator flexibility. Thank you, Virginia. So it shows that you are engaging with us. Thank you for providing your own answer, which is true. If there are some answer or questions, feel free to use. Feel free to share with us. So how can you minimize distractions? Please use your own weights. So that's how we're so we can see if we are engaging with us, because we do have some steps on how to minimize distractions. Okay, firstly, we have let others know your work hours. When you're talking about when let others know about your working hours. For example, if you have a family at home, or neighbors and friends, let them know about your working hours. That way they can speak to you at a time which it suits both of your needs. So it's very important to let others know about your working hours. about your working hours. And then we do have do one things do one thing at a time. So to do one thing at a time, let's say for example, after breaking down your huge process into a smaller pieces, choose one, and after choosing that one, make sure that you dedicate the entire the time into it. Then after completing it, you can move to the next, then to the next. So now, to minimize distractions, avoid TV household distractions, and put away all pets. When we're talking about pets, we're talking about a cat, because some of us we do have cats at our homes, dogs at our homes. So to minimize the distractions, you can able to save the animals for after work hours, and then take a regular breaks. There's only so much of brains can handle before it start filing or choosing a greater decisions. So meaning get up from get up from your table, go for a short walk, or just grab a coffee. That it will help you to minimize distractions while working from home. So now, how can you improve productivity within teams? How uh, how can you improve productivity within the teams? Let me go and let me get into details about this. So now, uh, a project management, meaning that's how a remote team members need to be able to plan and to collaborate on commitments. So we have some five examples here. So is to establish a vision, also establish a logistics and for the team communication. Also promote visibility and promote visibility for all workers, track the quality and status of the project, and then again identify and address bottlenecks. So 70% of workspace mistakes are due to poor connections. Communications plays a fundamental role in our daily lives. For some, good communications comes naturally, but for others, it can be hard uh, to altitude their thoughts and also their feelings to our conversations. Whether you are an effective communicator or not, uh, if you are not, okay, we understand the important. You have to understand the importance of good communication and how it can help you or to move in the work in the working world. So now, before I continue, we do have some general communication tool that I would like to share with you. Uh, with this, you have to have a strong communication is intelligent to business success. So we have email for more or email conversation or to communicate with others, because it is important to communicate effectively when working in general. Also, there are different communication tools that can work more effectively than others to communicate with your team. But depending on the purpose or on the task that you had. So emails are particularly useful for a business communication. Also, a group email allows you to send a single email to a larger number, meaning you can have a larger number by sending only a one email address. Also, messaging platforms can facilitate many of the daily functions, physical working space, or an internal email uh, will normally perform. So now let's look to the roles. So now, how to set up the rules to communicate effectively. Number one, communicate clearly. Think about the type of message and content. Respond properly, and then set a role model and the guidelines. So therefore, creating the right communication channel uh, is to ensure everyone knows how to use the language. Also, think about what kind of things you will be communicating in the channel. We do have by saying communication, we have to give feedback after communicating with your team. Deadlines, reminder are also important when communicating with your team members, and then action teams are very important when you're communicating uh, with your teammates. And then lastly, consider your audience by make sure your message is appropriate. Meaning, I've mentioned before these four steps: to communicate clearly, respond properly, set and roll a module and the guideline. So we do have different apps to communicate. So now, as I've said, we do have more more uh, more apps to communicate with ourselves or with teammates. We do have video meetings and calls are also available on Google Meet, Zoom, WhatsApp, Skype, and Teams. So it helps to connect teams working remotely. It also improve levels of communication. Also, it boosts collaboration. It is important to communicate effectively when working in the general, and then also it is important for more traditional companies to communicate. There are different communication tools that can work more effectively. Also, uh, uh, there are different communication tools that can help more working effectively than more to communicate with your team, depending on the purpose of the task that you have given. I've mentioned this before. With emails, uh, are particularly useful for a business to communicate. I've mentioned with group, we can manage to send a group email, because it also allows you to send a single email to a larger number. I've mentioned this before. that. So now, with Google Meet a team connected with the enterprise grade. Also, video conferencing built on Google's and secure globally in infrastructure, and then also it included with G site and G site for education. So with Zoom is an application that can be downloaded either on your computer or a mobile device. You can able to request a demo and event even download it for free. So meaning Zoom is free for the first 45 minutes. As I've mentioned, you can request a demo, even download it for free. You can use Zoom to host or to join a meeting for online classes through the app or by accepting an email invitation. So now with Microsoft Teams, you can able to create the teams and the channels to organize your departments. Also, you can able to separate the groups and enable teams to work more effectively. And then again, you can utilize the chat and the video call functions to boost communication. There are some images to use while using the Teams. You can able to raise your hand if you have any question, or to put a smile. You can add some comments with a face. Also, you are able to share documents, and also you can collaborate with. You can able to communicate or to collaborate with others. If you want to invite someone on Teams, use add function to tag and notify team members. And then Microsoft Teams is included in your Microsoft 365 package. So with Skype, with the Skype video chat app, you will have access to a variety of features. Meaning, uh, you can use a group video chat, and also it makes it easy for up to 50 people to meet, also to collaborate all at once. And then it helps you to work remotely. Co-workers can work more effectively. With Skype video chat app, you will have access, as I've mentioned, and also you can meet, or you just you can have a casual chat with your friends. Also, you can able to send an invitation to anyone, even to people or clients who don't use Skype. So now, before I proceed, I want to know how to run effective meetings. If you have any ideas how to run effective meetings. Okay, I've seen a comment from Sibongile. She says you can also place your phone in other room, or leave it in a dark drawer, in desk drawer, a bag, or in a purse, which is true. Thank you. Thank you, Sibongile, for commenting. And then again, she says, without effective communication, business fail. It failed giving ownership and identify we are team strength and a weakness. team building, and team building and extra. Thank you, Sibongile, for commenting, which is true. So now, how to run effective meetings? Firstly, firstly, you have to set the agenda, because this helps, by setting the agenda. It helps you to frame discussion, or to know, or it gives you the idea, what are you going to talk up what are you going to talk about. Also, is to ensure everyone is on the same page. And then consider your tone of your voice. Make sure you are introduction is good, and your experiences are not monotone. And then, to encourage participants to use cameras, it is very important to connect with each other. Also, it makes things more personal. And then to encourage using a camera, it also helps to boost non-verbal communication. And then lastly, we have be timely. So that's why we're talking about, don't leave people waiting on calls. Be punctual, as well, for in-personal meeting. So now, a videos conference, you have to prepare yourself. Also, we have to dress appropriately. And then after, and then you have to consider your lighting, consider your background, and then consider your audio. Because few have given much through to how they should behave in the new reality of work. And again, employees are still technologically at work. So will wearing a sweatpants or a t-shirt to be to be compatible. So now, top tips for how to collaborate effectively. Firstly, we have to be we have to be equipped. You keep your team with the right tools. So meaning you have to give your team with the right tools. Make projects, management easier. Make document sharing, uh, 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 and then encourage a collaboration between a department. Also, prototype company culture. So now the final top tips for productivity. Always over communication, because communication with your team regularly, and it keeps them on the tops, or it keeps them in the loop. So now, also, we have to be disciplined, because to be disciplined, it helps working remotely. Uh, also, while working, remote working is not a vacation, a vacation, or non-paid leave. So make sure you use
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Apologies for our presenter has lost the connection right there. My name is Brenda Mahali. I'm going to take over from where he left off. Um, he was talking about we'll start on manage and maintain your well-being. How do you normally manage and maintain your well-being as you are working from home? Because remember, one need to manage their well-being. Remember, right now you are not going to work anymore. You are right now you are sitting at home. So the following are the proof the what do you call the um tips on how you can manage your well-being. So I have a question that why is it important to manage your well-being? Why should you try to make sure that when you are at home, you need to manage your well-being? So let's move to it as you will be engaging with us on our chat box. So the importance to manage your well-being, we're talking about the impact of your overall wealth, how's your wealth is being, and it leads to what? A greater productivity. So imagine right now you're sitting at home, you don't go out to stretch after some few breaks. So you'll find yourself not more productive to what you are doing. So one need to do what to take and the tips on how you can manage your well-being, and also it increases your resilience. So when you are sitting down, you are weighing on yourself. So you remember you are working with your colleagues, whatever they are. Some they will be international because you'll be using your online apps where you can able to talk to each other on there. So sitting down the whole day, it may what? It may affect your well-being. Also, the importance of managing your well-being, you need to what? You need to boost your morale and levels of happiness. So it enhances that your happiness when you are standing up everywhere you are going, and then you make sure you take those jogging, you jog outside, and also you exercise so that you can be what? You can stay more productive. So now another question that I will put out there for us is that what can you do to manage your well-being? What is it that you can do to manage your well-being? We talked about when you manage your well-being, what is it that will come out? You increase your resilience, so you become more productive, you become more bubbly, you become more even coming with a new ideas. So what can you do to manage that your well-being? So now let's talk about that. So avoid what? Overworking and take regular breaks, as I said. So you need to do what? So set up a reminder where you need to remind yourself that, okay, every after 45 minutes, I need to stand up so that I can able to do what? To relax my legs and my body so that I can do what? To generate more energy. And you need to be doing, you need to be clear with your team that you are living. You know, sometime when we are starting with COVID, most of the people name they'll just leave you on the Google sheet, and you'll be working alone. You'll be wondering where are those people. So to manage that, when you are taking those regular breaks, please just make sure that you tell your team that, okay, guys, I'll be taking like a walk for 2 minutes or 5 minutes. I'll be walking around. If you don't see me there, don't be surprised. And also, you need to what? To turn off notification when we are on break. There was this on social media, the funny video of a guy. He wanted to take a tea break, and because of the sound that is keep on coming on his laptop, and then you'll be going and peeping what is going on there, and his that break he wanted to take right now is no longer a break because he was curious on what are they saying. So for you to take that beautiful break, turn off that the or reduce the volume on your gadget that you are working with. And also you need to do what? To schedule an activity, to take a walk, riding a bike. So it depends even on where you are, the location of you are. So if you can just go and check your neighbors there and tell them that, oh, I've been working, so I'm just checking on you only that few minutes. And maybe at the end of the day, as they said, you can go for your gym, so you can at least stretch your body so that you can work productive. So again, now let's talk about, be ready for your culture shift. So what are we talking about when we're talking about our culture shift? So it helps you to embrace the shift of, to consider the following. So you need to trust your overall performance. You need to rethink and the concept of work. You need to understand your commitments, and also you need to be patient. Remember, we are working online and then you are at home. Maybe someone is experiencing, like right now our presenter has just experienced this poor connectivity, or he had a technical glitch. So you need to do what you understand, and then also you need to let your teams to know. So you need to be ready to what, for that culture shift. So now let's talk about managing your overall well-being. When you want to manage your overall well-being, you need to do what? Exercise regularly, as they mentioned there. View your mental health as as serious as a physical health. So sometimes you stress, you overthink of your work, and then that leads to do what? To being unproductive at work. So you just need to check it. And then also you can do the same thing with your colleagues. Maybe while you are taking your break, you can tell your colleague, and or you call someone that, how are you doing? Or you have someone that you are sharing your frustration or your challenges with. And also you need to check with your manager or your team regularly. As I said, check with them, how are you doing right now? How is things? Because when we and other countries, they're still on lockdown, so there was those overthinkers to say, even when they are working at home, but they are thinking of what is going to happen tomorrow, and the moment is that it leads to what? Depression. So you need to check your managers, you need to check your teams regularly. And also, that's the best thing, make sure that you separate your professional and personal life, which is sometimes very difficult for you, for one, to do. But the ideally is that when you are working, you concentrate on that work, and you make sure you finish the project that you have given, or the work that you have been given. And also, because we talked about checking with your manager or maybe your family member, you can also put aside that personal life to call that person at the end of the work time, and they said, you know what, I'm not feeling well, this is what I'm experiencing, so that they can able to do what? To advise you on what you can able to do. This is how one can do what? Manage their overall well-being while they're working remotely. And also the last one, you can organize in personal social meetup, so that you can just call someone on Meet, which is one of our beautiful app that one can able to do on Skype, or you can just organize something with your friend for a coffee or for a tea on a restaurant, to say, you know what, let me just go out and then get this nice breeze before I can come back and work. This is how one can able to manage their overall well-being. I'll pause for questions or comment, if any, we have any comment or any question, any comment and any question. Let me just see. Okay, I see we don't have any comment as for now, or any question. So now, what will be your next step? Remember, we are talking about the individual timing on when you are working remotely. We have experienced it where it was even not normal. Sometimes you feel like you just want to stand up and then maybe check what is going on your TV. So what will be your next step as you are working at home? What is it that distracts you from working? Is that your cell phone where you're just curious to see what is going on social media, what is there, what is the new trend on your Twitter or your Instagram. So how can you minimize that distractions, and how can you manage that your well-being? Because mentally, when you are well, you will work productively on your work. So what will be your next step? What is it that you can able to change with your working remotely? Okay, so let me just remind you of a free bootcamp that is available from Google. If you own a small business and you are ready to scale, please sign up using the Google Academy, Google Hustle Academy link that is on your screen right now. When you are ready to scale for your business, use the link that is provided. And also, you can find us on social media. On Facebook, we are Digital Skills for Africa. On Twitter, we are Digital Skills Africa. And on Instagram, we are Digital Africa. And also, you can contact, or you can find us on social media. We are Schoolnet South Africa on Facebook, on Twitter, and on Instagram. Thank you so much, and apologies for our previous presenter who got a technical glitch. I hope you are finished with the today's session, and I hope you have enjoyed a lot. Thank you so much, and have a great evening. Thank you.